Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc., the channel all about bringing you as much nerdy content as possible. Today for you, we're in Dragon Village M, and we are going to be covering the limited dragon, Verus. I'll be straight up, honest, up front. Of all the dragons in the game, in my personal opinion, completely opinionated, he is probably one of the very best. He is, if not the best dragon in this game. Let's go see why. As always, if you're new to the channel, please like this video and subscribe so you can see further content like this. I'm always trying to review dragons, give my opinions on them, if they're worth it or not, and also how to build them with what rune sets that I think would work really well with them. So if you want to see more content like that whenever I cover more dragons in the future, I would appreciate subscribing to the channel on top of liking this video, because that lets me know that you enjoy the content I put out. And if you really enjoy what I do, consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll have a link in the description below so you know where to go. And if you support me through there, I'll give you shoutouts and videos, as well as you get your name posted or your business, whatever, at the end of every single video that I put out. And on top of that, you get access to my private Discord server. So if you need help, I can help you out at almost any time. I've always got my phone on me. As well as we just like to chat about the game. So if you want to come join us and just, have fun, then definitely check that out. Alright? But look at this guy. I think he is probably the coolest looking dragon. At least I think so. Like I said, it's all opinionated. This is the light version. And then here's the water one. I think the water one looks even cooler. But I always see the fire. I see the fire a lot more than I see the water one. Although the fire one looks like he could be a light type with all that white he's got going on. Here's the baby dragon, junior, and then the big one. It just seems like he gets a little bigger each time. It doesn't really change a whole lot. His flavor text, though, a dragon whose name means fact. The older one of the twin dragons has domination over facts. It has superb abilities in terms of both attack and recovery. So I find this interesting. I'm like, who is the twin? Because it's not talking about these two, I don't believe, because they both talk about the older one of the twins. So I believe this is still the same dragon, no matter what element type it is. It's still just Verus. But I wonder who's supposed to be the twin of... I haven't gone through the flavor text of every dragon in the game, so you can't hold me there. But yeah, so I wonder who his twin is. Kind of interesting. There's so much background in this game, it's a little ridiculous sometimes. But so yeah, he's this one's a fire type. There's also the water type, an attack type, sort of. We'll cover that, and of course he's a legendary. So let's jump in here. The leadership skills. So the fire type is increase allies' attack by 48% when fighting a boss. Water type, all ally attack up by 48% in Colosseum. Oof. So it's a little bittersweet, right? You almost want both of them, right? So fire type in clan dungeon. Oh geez. In all of your dungeon battles, right? You always have the final stage where you fight the boss in like pretty much every dungeon. That 48% attack bonus for attack, oh my god, like how crazy of a boost that is. I haven't really seen anything that's 48%. That's what makes limited dragons so good, is that their stats, their base stats, as well as their leadership abilities are a whole step higher than everything else. Like if you notice, like 4-star, I'll use Clown Dragon as an example. Light Clown Dragon, I believe it's like 24% crit rate bonus, and then if you jump up to Light Darknix, who is a light type 5-star, it's like a 36% buff. And you see, it goes up by 12s every time. So then you get a limited dragon, and the buff is 48%. So it's like you want the water type for that Colosseum, or the light type for your boss there. If I pulled this dragon, he would hands down replace my light Dark Nyx dragon somewhere. in either PvP, because I use him in PvP as well as Clan Dungeon. He'd get replaced in one of those two, whichever element I pulled. So, leadership abilities are already off the chain. He's worth running simply for that and nothing else. But you don't have to run him for that and nothing else, because let's get to his other skills. Alright, his drag skill here. So 32-second cooldown, as well as a target count 5. So it's a cross attack here. Both are going to be the same. So target count 5, right there off the bat, great for PvP. So your water type here is going to be amazing. He's going to be able to hit every single dragon on the enemy team. Alright, and they're and if you notice, I'm clicking back and forth, their text is completely identical here. Inflict damage with Light of Truth. If it kills an enemy with this skill, allies recover HP proportional to your attack. Wow. So he is also a recovery type for literally your entire team. He can heal your whole team. So there's videos out there of Verus, the Fire Verus more specifically, soloing the tree dungeon. So getting all your fruit and stuff, that dungeon, yeah, he literally solos it because he kills the minions with his with this drag skill, and he just heals back up. So you just build the craziest attack-based dragon here, and he'll just keep on kicking. It's a little less so for the water type because in PvP, you know, and it's only if this skill kills an enemy. So if one of your other teammates kills an enemy PvP dragon, you don't trigger the heal, and then you just increase the damage here, right? So let me check this out. So yeah, so the very last skill here is a bonus to that. So max of 3 Grand Crosses are activated on target area. It follows with a weaker damage. So both are the same here as well. So what you're doing is basically you're increasing that skill 3 times. Not quite, because it does less damage on attacks 2 and 3. 2, 3. Yeah. So you can always tell which dragons are at that point, which ones are adult dragons. When you go into PvP and they do their drag skill and the Verus, you know, attacks, and you're like, oh no, but then it's only like the 1 cross, and you're like, oh, thank God. But man, when all 3 of those bad boys hit at once, it's impossible to avoid, which is great for, you know, doing stuff like Clan Dungeon and things. So yeah, crazy damage on this guy, which means you have a higher chance of killing multiple enemies. So let's jump over here to the passives, though. So I think, yeah, so all of these skills might be the same on all of them. I can't quite remember. Alright, so you can decrease the cooldown, so it's at 15 seconds. It can go down to 10 seconds. Target count of 10, which is a little overkill for a water type, since, you know, you're mostly using him in Coliseum. Every set duration, summon a sphere that moves between allies and enemies 5 times. The sphere will recover HP for allies and inflict damage to enemies proportional to attack. So again, attack. Like, you might want to throw crit rate in on that middle slot, but 2 and 6 straight attack percentage. You want 6-star attack percentage runes, hands down. If you can get a really high crit rate though on your substats, you could do 4 slot as a attack percentage as well. But that means you'll probably need to run a set of crit rate runes, as you'll do your 4 reds and then your 2 purples for that crit rate bonus just off of those. And if you can get really good crit rate substats, like maxing at a 10 on each of those, then you could run straight attack, which this guy would do nutty damage. I mean, you're gonna recover, again, you're recovering more HP. So that's 2 skills now that give you HP recovery. So you're like relieving the stress load of your dragons, of your healers. The need to run 2 healers in some fights is almost mitigated completely by running this attack type. Okay, and again, like I said, you can decrease the cooldown to be every 10 seconds he does this. So it's almost non-stop consecutive at that point with the little orb bouncing around the fight. And then we're going to go to the last passive here. Every set duration, gain a attack increasing effect for 10 seconds. And then you can decrease that down to 13 seconds. So you'll have 3 seconds. Well, you have the beginning of the fight, and then for the rest of the fight, every 3 seconds, you'll have like a 3-second gap where you don't have the attack buff. Come on, really? This guy's attack is going to be phenomenal. And same thing for the water type. So their skills, both of them are almost completely identical. Only thing that changes is the leadership ability. So this guy, I haven't seen a dragon that does more damage as an AoE attacker. Single target, he gets outperformed in other areas, of course. I mean, what AoE dragon doesn't get outperformed somewhere by a single target attacker and doing just raw damage to one? But he still does so much damage as an AoE attacker that, I mean, in PvP, I've gone against teams that had him, and he almost wiped my entire team in one swing. The only people that stay alive are like my Water Wonder Dragon, and let's see, sometimes he kills my tank and leaves my healer. But, I mean, at that point, the fight's already over. And especially if you do that at the beginning of the fight, what am I going to fight back with? He's going to about to wipe my whole team again. So just let him recharge. One more swing there. Yeah, so hands down, I strongly feel that he is the overall, I mean, he's not going to win in individual categories, right? He's not the best healer in the game. He's not the best single target attacker in the game, because he's not even a single target attacker or an actual healer. He's not the best tank in the game. But first of all, I do believe he's the best AoE attacker in the game. Okay, hands down. Like, if you think differently, let me know in the comments below of who you think is better. Simply because of his kit, right? So he does more damage. He does an absurd amount of damage, as well as the fact that he can heal himself constantly. So every time he kills anything, he just heals proportional to his attack. And if you have him at all attack percentages with an attack set of runes on him, his damage and his healing are going to be super high off of those skills. Okay, so I think the overall package is what helps set him up. And he has got a passive that heals and does damage in addition to that. So that's 2 ways an attacker can heal. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't see anything that outperforms him anywhere. So as overall, if I had to take, every single dragon in the game that I've seen so far and that I've really looked into, I think he's a step above everyone. He's just so much more useful than some dragons are only useful in certain scenarios, right? Whereas Verus, I feel like he is literally useful in every single scenario. You might not always want him to be your leader, but I think I would use him in place of a great many supports. I would use him in place of a great many AoE attackers. The only time I think it would be a little interesting for me is in PvE, in adventure mode, right? My team is usually Water Enix or Dark Power Dragon, right? And I use the Light Clown for my single target attacker when I get to the very end and I just need to nuke the boss. And then I use Light Darknix for that crit rate bonus that he provides as his leadership ability. That's the only time that this becomes a problem, is because the water or the fire, they do nothing in adventure mode. That is their one weakness, where they're still a super strong dragon, but what do you drop to put them in? And then usually I like to run a support like a Neroth that's going to give me passive mana. Just every 12 seconds I get a free mana, right? So do I run 3 attackers and drop the mana increaser? I mean, I don't know. I don't think running Light Darknix and Fire Verus, or either the Water one, whatever, is worth it. 2 big AoE attackers that cost 3 mana each. One of them is not going to get used in the fight. It'll probably be the Light Darknix, but then it's like, well, I'm really running him only for his leadership ability. If you watch my early videos, I talk about how you want a good leadership dragon, but you also want a good dragon with a leadership ability in addition to his other skill sets. So that's the one part where I feel like this dragon falls off, is in adventure mode, but he's literally useful everywhere else. And honestly, other than Hellfire mode, I mean, what do you really need him for? I mean, I guess he would be a good farming dragon. When all the other dragons die, then he's just using his skills, healing himself, and farming just over and over, so he can solo a lot of levels by himself. So that could be useful. But that's about it. I hope you liked this video. I had fun with it. I think this is a super cool dragon, so I've been meaning to do this video for a long time, but I just haven't had the urge to really look and go in depth with the limited dragons. But with the egg coming in just a week and a half from now, I feel like it was finally time for me to actually sit down and cover this guy and like let you know of how good he is. The best way I found to farm is doing clan dungeon. If you're not in a clan already, join one. If you are in one and you're just not getting clan coins very fast, maybe you're not getting enough levels unlocked, you're not placing high enough, it might be time to move to a new clan. I was in one and we were just not placing all that high, and I ended up switching about 2-3 weeks ago. I finally just had enough. I was the top performer every single time, and I was doing, what was my score? Probably about 80. Was it 80 million or something like that? And no one else was even close. Or maybe not. I don't remember what it was. But yeah. Anyway, I was in the 6 digits, and everyone else was like barely, I think, like in the 20s. So I had to move on, and ever since I did that, I've been getting clan coins like mad. So I was able to finally save up for that egg. And I know I'm ranting. I'm sorry. I'll be quick. Then this is more of a guide than a summoning or a review video. But it might be better to buy enhancements. But if you're farming fast enough and you're in a good clan, consider leaving the clan you're in and joining one that's higher tier. I think we placed 23rd this week on Clan Dungeon. There was the new update that changed things, so I don't know where we're going to be at after that, which prevents you from battling the Clan Dungeon 3 times a day. It's only limited to 2 now. You can't pay the diamonds and do a 3rd battle anymore. So I think those top tier clans are going to be a little lower, because instead of their entire clan all doing 3 battles each, they're going to be stuck with the lower tier clans who don't do that, right? Only those top tier clans, really, the whole clan spends those extra 200 diamonds every single day to do that extra battle. And because you don't get rewards for it, you just get more points for your clan to get placed higher. And you get those clan coins, and that's how you get these limited dragon eggs a little more reliably. And it took me a while to really see the benefit of being in a good clan. I'd stayed there too long. So I could have had probably 2 limited dragons by now if I had switched a little sooner. So if you're curious of how to get limited dragons like Verus, look at getting in a better clan. Okay, clan coins is pretty good. Now, is it the best thing to use your clan coins for limited dragon eggs over enhancements? I am not gonna tell you which one. I think I'm more of a gambler. So instead of like the sure thing of powering up my dragons, I like to gamble a little bit and try to get me a cool limited dragon. So that's why I want Verus, and that's what I'm doing with my clan coins. It might not be the most mature thing, but you know what? Forget that. I want this dragon. I hope you liked this video. If you made it through all my rambling and you're all the way at the end, please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And with that, we'll see you next time.